Hi guys, this is Sin and welcome back to my channel, Stampin' Munchkins. As you can see, I am so excited to be introducing myself as the newest design team member for Taylormadecards4U. She has some wonderful things in her shop and I will list everything below. For my project today, I'm using the Daily Curse digital kit from Taylormadecards4U, and you get all of these wonderful images, and I'm just using a couple of them, but you can make wonderful projects. And I printed these straight off without doing anything special, resizing or anything, and I just printed it on thin parchment paper because I wanted it to be see-through. I'll be making, my project today is I'm cutting tags out of these chipboard. It's pretty thick. Not quite sure where I got it from as it's old, but I'm just using a sort of a template that I cut from Cricut. And I try to cut this chipboard in my Cricut maker, but my mat was so bad that it kept sliding around. So I just used my X-Acto knife and my Fiskars cutting mat, and I just did it myself. My X-Acto knife is super sharp. I'm using my quilting rulers because, you know, I am a quilter and I have a whole bunch of quilting rulers. And I love how it is, has the grids in the ruler, so it's super easy to cut and measure. So this is 5.5 inches long by, I believe it was 3.5. Again, I'll have everything listed below. Everything will be linked, so for easy shopping, and you can use my affiliate links for me to get a small commission at no extra cost to you, and that will help me bring you free content on my YouTube channel. So I just used the Dina Wakley white gesso, and I just haphazardly painted that on, and I kind of wanted to see where I wanted the design, and I used that to cut it out just um, bigger than my tag so that I have some wiggle room. And I am spraying, this is my brand new Distress Oxide spray. This is my first ever and I love it. And I just sprayed it on after I cut it out. And I'm going to be using this witch, and I have this old Spellbinders oval dies, and I decided that this size is the perfect size. And because it's parchment paper and super thin, I just have a few pieces of regular copy paper as a shim. And now I'm using the Liquitex Ultra Matte Gel, which I showed you earlier. And it's kind of dried out, so I'm adding some water to using my distress sprayer to make it paint easier. And I'm just using that as my glue. I'm hoping I can use it as glue, but it worked. And I cut 5 white using Nina 80-pound, so I could stack up the witch, and I'm just putting her on top. Again, this is parchment paper, so it's thin and sort of see-through. And I wanted to have all the dimension and the wrinkles and things like that. So I really like how it turned out in the end. And now I'm turning over the chipboard so that I can use my X-Acto knife and cut off the excess. And it's still a little too clean, so now I'm going to distress it up using Black Soot Distress ink and Hickory Smoke Distress ink using my Tim Holtz ink blending tool. And I'll just keep doing that. And first, so on both images, I am using Hickory Smoke more towards the middle, and I used the Black Soot on the edges. You didn't see me do that on the medallion because my camera shut off. But you did see me do the black soot on the edges of the medallion. And now it's getting to the way I want it. And I'm making sure that I'm putting it on the edges as I have the white cardstock. And I don't want the white to show through. And now I'm using the Dina Wakley white gloss spray to do some white spatters. I'm adding more orange spatter using the crackling campfire. And I want black, so I'm using the black soot and water and using that to get black splatters. And I really am liking how it is coming along. And my heat gun has two settings, so I'm using the low setting to dry it all up. Now I want some sentiment on there, so this Witchcraft Lessons was perfect. So I'm using the white gesso again, and I put it on the little die cut, or the little piece of strip of, what is that, chipboard, so that it's also raised. And now I'm putting the ultra matte on top, and it ran a little bit because I did print this on inkjet printer, so it's not laser, but I like how it looked. That's the look I was going for. A little grungy and a little old, which is what you would expect from a witch. So I'm just using my Tombow multi, what is this called? Glue. And I'm just gluing it on, and we're almost done. So I used my crocodile to punch a hole in the top, and I'm using this. I went through my ribbon stash and I had these two oranges, a light orange, a dark orange, and I had a spider web, but it was too pretty. So I'm using my Hickory Smoke Distress ink to dirty it up, distress it up, but I knew that it might not be permanent as it dries. So I came in with an N4 Copic color pen, and I'm going over that to dirty it up. So you can use your permanent pens, and the distress ink turned out fine as well. It didn't come off after it dried. So you can try that, either of those tips. You can change the color of anything. So now I just put it through, and I'm just using a little bit of the light orange, grunged up orange ribbon to tie a bow, and I'm giving it a haircut, and I think it still kind of looks pretty, the ribbon, but it'll do. It's all I had. So I really like how it turned out. It's like a media art tag, but using the digital kit is wonderful. I just loved it. And you can also manipulate the size if you need it. I'm using the skull paper as a background for my pictures. Again, everything will be listed below, and Monica Taylor, who is the owner of Taylormadecards4U, is wonderful, and she has a bunch of knowledge. She also, there's a lot on Facebook, so I will link everything below. I hope you enjoy this. You can see all the wrinkles in these still shots, and I hope you enjoyed it. Minimal supplies, and made the tag myself. You don't need anything fancy. So just have fun. Oh, here's my inky fingers. Not too bad. I thought it would be worse. So just wanted to show my inky fingers. Thanks so much for being here and watching. And again, I'm so excited to be a part of her design team. And my design team officially starts in October. Every first Saturday, we will have a hop. So I hope you come back. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified of all my upcoming videos. Thank you again. See you next time. Bye, friends. Aloha.